Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. With Palworld coming out very soon and having dumped a ton of hours into it already thanks to the devs throwing a key my way, I wanted to take a little bit of time to discuss the difficulty settings of this game and which difficulty you should play on based on the type of player you are. The vast majority of my audience are monster taming enthusiasts. I'm sure there's some crossover with survival fanatics. However, I know for a fact that a lot of my fans are coming from games like Coromon, Pokemon, Nexomon, Monster Sanctuary, Dragon Quest Monsters, etc., and Palworld is a completely different beast from those games. Despite what a lot of game journalists will have you believe, anybody that's done a little research will know that Palworld is nothing like Pokemon in how it plays. It has far more similarities to something like Ark, and because of this factor, I feel like a lot of monster taming fans are going to go into this game and not realize that difficulty doesn't just have to do with how much damage you take or enemy AI or anything like that. Sure, that's part of the package, but there's a lot more, and today we're going to be briefly discussing the differences based on the preset difficulty options accordingly. So the game has 3 main difficulty options and a 4th, which I will get to at the end of this video, but essentially when starting up the game you can play on easy, normal, or hard, each of which come with their own recommendation. Easy mode is actually the recommended difficulty setting for people that are into monster taming games but don't really play survival games. This makes a lot of sense because easy mode gives you more drops, more experience points, and reduces the amount of grind and time it'll take to do things overall. For those that don't know, a lot of survival games are extremely grindy, and if you're someone who wants to go into Palworld to explore, catch a bunch of different pals, follow the main quest, which is essentially just to defeat all the main bosses, and just not make this a full-time job, this is going to be the difficulty setting for you. Don't let anybody tell you that playing on easy mode makes you bad at the game, because for the most part, the difference between playing on easy or normal or even hard is going to be the sheer amount of time it takes to gather resources and level up. To me, that's not really difficulty, that's just time availability. But like I said, there are certain aspects that do make the other difficulties more difficult. Normal is a more balanced experience where there's going to be less drops, it's going to take you more time to get resources, and you'll lose all of your equipment and materials when you die. This mode is for fans of games like Ark who know what they're getting into when it comes to these types of survival games, where sure, it might take a lot of time to get resources, but when you do finally build stuff and, get started and get more powerful, it's really rewarding. Finally, we have hard mode, which is for survival game veterans. This makes egg incubation take longer, makes pals harder to catch, makes you gain less XP overall, makes you take more damage and deal less damage, makes you lose all your pals upon death, etc. This is if you want a really challenging experience and you just want to live in Palworld, because gaining less XP adds a lot of grind. Making pals harder to catch means you're going to need more resources in order to actually catch them. It just adds a bunch of, as they put it, unforgiving elements to the game. Now, I did mention earlier there is a 4th option, and I will be diving into it in its own separate video where we're going to sort of go over every single thing, but there's also custom settings for the world that you create, which allow you to tailor the experience to your own preferences. For example, as a content creator who has a Let's Play series, it's not fun to record myself smashing rocks and cutting down trees for vast amounts of time, or have to deal with a ton of hunger or long time for egg hatches, etc., since I'm going to be presenting my gameplay to an audience. The custom settings allow me to adjust these to make those things a lot faster, making for a more presentable episodic series. You can pretty much adjust whatever you want, and from what I understand, this is the type of customization present in other games like Ark, and I've got to say, I really like this because it allows you to play the game in your own way, and every world you make has its own separate save file essentially, so you don't have to worry about multiplayer servers giving some people unfair advantages. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited for Palworld to release, and I can't wait to start going into more specific guides with you guys. I just want to wait until the game's actually out before I show you guys how to get OP early, or what you should do first, or how to play the game in general, or tips and tricks, or anything like that, because I want you to actually be able to apply that knowledge right then and there, so stay tuned. That being said, I have tons of plans for this game. It's going to be a really crazy time, especially with it releasing in early access, meaning that we're going to have updates over a long period of time, and I'm ready to keep you guys informed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the community. You could also check out my Twitter, Discord, and Patreon linked below. Just wanted to say special thanks to the supporters, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, Candy Morency, and TragSoft, and we'll see you next time. Peace.